Hi everyone, this is Rosie and you have come to Nonna Stitching Lounge. I am come to you from Stoney Creek, Ontario, just outside of Toronto. And this channel is about knitting, crocheting, and all kinds of yarn related goodness. So if you're interested in that sort of content, please press subscribe. And if you like this video, press like. And that will help me out in reaching a larger audience and able to bring you more content. So thanks for coming on by. So today's episode, I am going to talk about some of the tools, I guess the metamorphoses of my knitting and crocheting history. Now I did talk about this early on in one of my first videos. So one of the reasons I call it Nonna Stitching Lounge is because the word nonna is grandmother in Italian. I am of Italian descent and my nonna used to live with us, and so I actually shared a bedroom with my nonna. So my nonna taught me how to knit and crochet when I was maybe 7 or 8, so I learned both at the same time. And I gravitated towards knitting early on. And then maybe about 5 years ago, I really loved to crochet. So I had some pretty basic tools back in the day. I do believe I probably inherited, so I have a lot of stuff in here. And I inherited my grandmother's knitting needles and crocheting, I believe. So I'll show you what I started using back in the day and where I am now. Now, I am the type that when I start into some kind of craft, I have to have everything. So I remember when I started scrapbooking, I went to actually the scrapbooking party, I think it was like 1999 or something, and I bought like the cutters and I don't know, the whole thing cost like $200 or something ridiculous. Never used it. I know, but I had to have it all, right? But anyway, so here are some of the knitting needles that I inherited. Lots of knitting needles. And interestingly, so I have some like double pointed ones. I don't even know what size they are at this point. Like there's these really thin ones, and then there's like thicker ones. So it's kind of interesting to kind of go through these. But when I learned how to knit, my nonna, I like the really long needles. I used to do blankets and things. So these are 4.5 millimeters. So she would teach me to hold one, it's this one. No, yeah, it's this one, under my arm, and then just move this one back and forth. So it was like this. And so that was how I learned how to knit with the long needles. And I would just hold the yarn like this. I don't know if you guys knew how. So when I used to see people doing this kind of thing, it would drive me crazy. I was like, no, you can't do it that way. You got to put it under your arm, and you got to do it this way, right? Because you'd hold it, and you just throw the needle, and you'd only be moving this small kind of thing. So that's how I learned how to knit. And I did some really cool projects for my kids when they were young. I did this, I think it was Tweety Bird. I did some color work. I did some that sort of stuff. So, and I would crochet blankets mostly. I wasn't a big crocheter at the time. So then I graduated to the circular needles. So I have to tell you, where is the other one? Oh, I don't know where I put them, but I'll find them. So yeah, so I started doing circular needles when I started doing some top-down Icelandic type of sweaters. So I had to have like a smaller one for the ribbing, then I graduated, to a bigger one, that sort of thing. Oh wow, look at these size. They're fine. These are 10 millimeters. Look at those. Huge. Again, put them under your arm and do it this way. Anyway, anybody else learn that way? I don't know. Am I the only weird one? Yeah, so I used a lot of these circular kneaders. So I have like a 4.5 millimeter. These are really old school. Like this is a 5.5, and it's like really tiny to do the wrists, I guess. right? And then these ones are 7 milliliter. Oh, these are unusual because 7 milliliters are hard to find. 7 milliliter knitting needles. So didn't even know I had those. Who knew? So that's kind of where I then graduated when I was knitting. And now to these ones. So I bought these ones on sale. They're terrible. They're too light. Don't waste your money on them. They're loops and threads, aluminum circular. They were on sale and don't like them at all. They have no point, nothing. So this blanket here behind me is knit. Okay? It's done with Bernat blanket yarn. And I know I showed this before. And for Bernat blanket yarn, I don't like crocheting with it. It's too thick. I love the Bernat blanket yarn because you can throw it in the washing machine and it comes out beautiful. So when I started knitting these blankets with Bernat blanket yarn, I bought Clover Bamboo. Now they're a little bit more pricey. These are like $26. These are the Clover. This one is a 91 centimeter, so it's a 9 centimeter and it's 91 centimeters long. Now it is a little like the plastic retains its memory. It's a little bit awkward at first, but once you get all the stitches on with the blanket, it straightens out. But I like this especially with the blanket yarn, 'cause it's so thick. It doesn't have a huge point, but it's smooth and it's light, and it just has a nice, I don't know, a nice feel to it. So of course I had to graduate from the needle under the arm to then circular, which I don't mind. I like them. Again, these are the Takumis, but you have to be very careful ergonomically, because when you are doing circular, let me show you. Push this. You got to hold down here, right? And you really need to watch where your arms are positioned, because if you do this, you're going to get pain in your shoulders. If you do this, you're going to be tightened. So you got to make sure you don't have an armchair. I don't like to knit with, but I like to have pillows under me, under my arms, both arms, and I hold it down here, right? Now I have learned how to do continental knitting, but I found that hurts my thumb just because of the way you hold the knitting needle. So the knitting. So anyway, so if you're knitting big, thick yarn, or making blankets, I would recommend these. Especially if you're a newbie knitter, because it's not that slippery, but it's still quite smooth, and I just really like them. So anyway. So then I decided I was going to start crocheting. And I'll show you my history of crocheting. Now, where did I have a whole bunch of crochet needles, and I don't know where I put them. Okay. But I do also have a whole bunch here. So I'll just show you. These are all kinds of sizes. I have these lighted ones over here that were gifted to me. They also gifted the battery for them, which is kind of interesting. But they're plastic, and I find that they don't move fast enough when I'm crocheting. So I don't like that. I had all these. This is what I used to crochet with, these steel ones. And I put these rubber things on them. The problem with that is I hid the size. So I have no idea what size it is. So, but I kept these. And then I bought a whole bunch of cheap crochet needles on Amazon, which I will show you. And where are they? Cheap crochet needle, or crochet hook, sorry, that were actually not that bad. Like, considering that I think the whole pack costs like $24. Like if you're just learning to crochet, that's what I would suggest you do. Go to Amazon, buy the pack that comes with a whole bunch, and so this was one of them. This is a 5.5. Okay, if you did not know any better, you would say it was a clover. Now the only difference here is that when it's in your hand for a bit, it becomes a little gummy, and it has kind of rotted where you see, because I've used it so much, around the number, but I know it's a 5.5. This is a clover. Okay, can you really tell much of the difference? Now the only reason you know the difference is that the clover has a duller finish than this one. But I'll tell you the truth, I like this one better because it's a longer neck. You see how much longer it is? Anyway, and the clovers were over $100 for a set of 8, I think. So personally, I think the cheap ones from Amazon are actually not that bad. Other than, you know, like for instance, this one was a 7. I actually got a 7 in that. And you don't get a 7 size, a hook size 7 that often on, I couldn't find it in Clover. I think you have to order it separately. The only thing with this, again, this is the cheapie from, it's like the number has worn off, but I know it's a 7. Or is it a 6.5? Sorry, I believe it's a 6.5. Oh, I can't remember. This is the 8 that comes with it. Yeah, it's a 7 because this is the 6.5. This is the 6.5. Like you can actually still see it there, right? Is that it does absorb the color of the yarn. So I was using the black velvet, and so they discolored. But otherwise, it has a nice long neck on it, and you know, it's kind of cool. Now this is a clover I had to buy individually, and it is a size 9. The rubber is way more substantial. This is kind of gummy, like I said, but the larger sizes come in this plastic. It's very durable. It's a nice hook. It's a nice hook. But frankly, for the money, if you're just starting out, just go to Amazon and get these ones. So those are the ones I use. This one here I really like. It's a tulip. I bought separately, just on its own. Again, the neck isn't as long as the Amazon ones. It's about the same neck size as the clover. But anyway, so that is my crochet history. Now my knitting needle history. So last year I splurged and I bought my Chai-Goos. So they come in this beautiful package. They come in with these, these are the large, different size, so they're interchangeable. So these are the large, what do you call them? Ropes? I don't know, can't remember. Cables, thank you. Cables. These are the small tip cables. So they come with that. They come with this Chai-Goo measure for the needles. What else do they come with? They come with this, these tips so that you can stop your work. If you want to show, like, or try something on that you're making, you put it over the knitting needle and it stops the knitting from falling off. They come with a large set of these. So these are stoppers. So when you do a top-down sweater like this one, you cut for the sleeve here, and then you got to put these all on hold, right? So what I do is I use one of these cables they give you, and then I put a stopper on each side. Now the problem is that they only give you one large stopper and one small stopper. So if you're using a large needles, you can put the large cable and stop it, but then you don't have one for the other side. So I just use a small one on the other side, and then transfer over. I'll do this one first and then I'll transfer over. I mean, it's not a big deal, but that's what I use them. And so it's very convenient to do that. So you don't not using, like, you're not carrying it on a piece of thread or anything like that. I actually put, you know, the, this size, let's see. See, it comes in different sizes. Like, I'll put one of this size here and hold all the needles, hold all the stitches there until then I go pick up to do the sleeves. So, yeah. So I graduated to Chai-Gu, and I know that other people have really liked the knit picks or the Haya Haya. I've not tried those, so I can't compare the two. But again, this was a bit of an investment. But what I like is that it comes with all these different small sizes. So you can see here, these are 4-inch. They come in, there's a 5-inch as well, but I think I like the 4-inch. And then it comes in the bigger sizes here, right to a size 10 millimeters. So that's pretty cool. So, I mean, you really don't need anything else. Like, you don't need to buy anything else once you buy this. However, of course I bought more because that's what I do. So, to do the band, I bought these smaller ones. So these are the same size of needles, but they're smaller tips. So there's a 2-inch and then a 3-inch tip. So that you can see, and really cute. Now this one only goes down to 3.5 millimeters. So if you want, like if you're using a fingering weight or really narrow thing, they stretch. Like you're doing the ribbing, they stretch a little bit. So, and this is the small, comes with 3 cables. One is 5-inch, one 6-inch, and one is 8-inch. So this goes with this. So again, a little bit of an investment, but I like to have them. They're in the blue. So because that wasn't enough, I bought the red. And how this is different from the blue, and I haven't even looked at them yet, and I'll show you what they came with. So they're really cute. It comes again with these little measures. They come with the little, really tiny stoppers, and little knitting markers, and then these little steel things to help you tighten when you interchange the cables with the needle. So they have these little, I don't know if you can see it, these cute little things that help you tighten. So all of them come with that. These are just tiny ones because in this particular package, so it has a little zipper, which I love. And then this little package, it comes with even smaller. These are mini cables, a 5-inch, 6-inch, 8-inch mini cable. You can see there. I don't know if it'll focus. Nope. And, oh, they fell out. Great. So again, it's the 2-inch and 3-inch tips, but they are for the small sizes when you use small yarn. And so it goes from 2 millimeters to 3.25. So, and then the 3.25 picks up here to the bigger size. So yeah, so really cute packaging. I think they come from China. They took a while to get here, but really cute. So those are the tools that I use now for knitting and crocheting. Yeah, sometimes it's a little bit of an investment, but I think you know, now I really don't need any other knitting needles. I mean, these are all encompassing. So it's kind of cool. So anyway, so that's my review for today on, again, I'm not sponsored by Clover or Chigu or anything. I bought these all on my own, and I just thought I would give you a little bit of a tour of my tools, so to speak. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you like this video, press like, that helps me out. And if you're not subscribed, please press the subscribe button. So I will chat with you soon. Thanks, ciao for now.